Hi there. All right. Today I'm going to record kind of a hopefully fairly quick video on how to rationale. Okay, so this is about the rationale section that we created in the prospectus template. And again, this is something that my department head wanted to include as sort of a standalone feature. You wouldn't normally find this in an APA style paper, but the idea is to get you to really focus your thinking about your particular research project, your prospectus, and how you want to hypothesize. So, part of this is really just simply making a, kind of tying in the lit review into what you're going to be doing, drawing your proverbial line in the sand between the lit review and, hey, this is the reason we're doing this. And then stating specifically some hypotheses. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. You're going to see me writing in real time, which, is, as we learned from the last time around, an interesting process, but I'm willing to go ahead and play around with it. So what I'm going to do is go back to my weapons priming thing, the one where we look at guns with strikeouts, in other words, weapons prohibited, guns just as images themselves, and say a neutral object like a flower. Okay, so the idea would be essentially a replication of Benjamin and Crosby. Okay, so what I might do is say, I want to go ahead and make sure that my color of the font is correct. Okay, I've got it good now, and I'm just going to go as noted in the above literature review. There is abundant evidence that the mere presence of weapons primes oppressive thoughts. Might cite something here while I'm at it, say, okay, so we have that. However, there have also been failures to replicate this effect. And the overall effect size for this particular phenomenon is fairly small. Probably between B equals 0.20 and B equals 0.28. See Benjamin et al. 2018 for more details. There is evidence that small effects are difficult to replicate, as are novel effects, as are novel findings. Let's use that instead. And that comes from the Open Science Collaboration 2015. The experiment conducted by Benjamin and Crosby is likely one of the likely a finding that would be potentially difficult to replicate given the known effect size for the phenomena and the novelty of the Crosby finding, in which even guns, the mere presence of images of guns with a strikeout to signify that they are prohibited led to an increase in aggressive thoughts. Therefore, it is incumbent to attempt to replicate the work of Benjamin and Crosby in order to ascertain if the original finding was real or a mere fluke. We hypothesize the following. We offer the following hypotheses. And then we'll go into our bullets. And you can see I'm typing here either the gun with the strikeout or the gun by itself will significantly aggressive thoughts relative to the neutral image. We'll have another hypothesis. The gun by itself will prime aggressive thoughts, but not the gun with the strikeout. And finally, this one. The gun with a strikeout and the gun by itself will both significantly prime more aggressive thoughts than the neutral image. Okay. At that point, I'll go ahead and get rid of that. Please note that if either of the first hypotheses is or please note that only if H sub 2 is found can we conclude that we successfully created let's be 2019. And then I'll go back in here and we'll go ahead and turn things that need to be turned into subscript. And then I'll go ahead, go back up here just a wee bit. And make sure that I've got everything justified. And that looks good. I'm sure I'll want to go back and clean up the language. And do a little spell check there. And that's good. And then, of course, once I'm done with all that, I can go through here and start to delete some of this sort of stuff. All right. So again, you can kind of see how you can play around with this template a little bit. And as you can see, I'm not asking you to do anything that I couldn't do. Oh yeah, I probably want to italicize the effect size here. See, I am already finding things I know I want to change. That's okay. All right. Got one of my cats here. You can barely see her. Zanti. And she's helping me at the moment. And so I just wanted to let you know that's how you do the rationale. That's all there is to it. So again, this is one of those situations where you don't need to overthink this. Remember to keep it simple and just make sure that it looks reasonable. And that's it. That's all you really have to do. And like everything else in life, it may seem hard at first, but it really isn't. Especially once you get going. And as I said, expect that you'll write something, go, I'm not sure I really feel this, and then have to, kind of tweak it as you need to. Okay, that's not a big deal. As you can see, I was doing that in real time. So, and that's perfectly acceptable. All right, Zanti and I will sign off now, and I will be back hopefully with something else that might be of use for you as you continue to work on modifying your prospectuses. Okay, take care and stay safe.